welcome to today's video. Today I wanted to quickly share how we budget. So I'm actually about to edit this video now and realized I had to insert this clip and I forgot to mention tithing. So that is the number one thing we do, and I think that's why I forgot to mention it, is because honestly it's just an impulse to tithe. I don't really think about it, and I don't think about it as part of our budget because that money's just, it's not ours. We definitely believe in tithing 10% to our church. I always do that first. So yeah, like I said, that money's not ours, so that's why I don't really think about it in regards to budgeting, because it's money that we just give to church right away. I don't like to get gas, I don't like to get groceries, I don't like to even transfer money to our bill account until we tithe first. So that's why we wait until Nathaniel's paycheck comes, even though his comes 2 days later. That's why we wait to budget everything and start spending and setting aside money at that point, because I like to tithe first. We use PushPay, which is an app that our church uses. That's what they're connected with for giving. And so we use that. We tithe 10% of our net pay, and then when we get our tax return in the spring, we tithe that. It's easier to do it that way for us than to tithe our gross pay, just because, I don't know, then we have to wait till we can check our pay stubs and all that stuff, and just a lot of work to do it that way. So it's easier to just tithe our net pay and then tithe our tax return. We always tithe no matter what. There have been times where we haven't been able to pay all our bills. We've had to skip credit card payments and pay them late. When Nathaniel was doing sales and we were having a really hard time with that, that's what we did. We skipped credit card payments and had to pay late fees and double payments and all that stuff the next month, but we always made sure to tithe first. So that's the number one thing I do when I budget, is I tithe 10% of whatever we made. So we get paid about 4 times a month, and I budget each pay period. I get paid a couple days before Nathaniel does, so I wait for his paycheck to come in, and then I'll budget. The bigger chunks of budgeting that I do are on the 7th and the 21st. Those are when we buy groceries. That's when we set aside rent. That's where we do all those big areas, because those are our bigger paychecks. And then on the 15th and the 30th, Nathaniel gets a smaller paycheck from his weekend job at the church. So that's just when we pay some other bills and kind of a smaller amount there. And I use Google Sheets on Google Drive to budget. That way I can change it each month and change it wherever I am. If I'm on my phone, if I'm at home, I just kind of have it with me wherever I go. If we're on like vacation or something like that, I can budget if we get paid while we're gone, so we know what we have to spend. And I'm going to show you the paper that I use to budget and how I set aside our money. But basically, I know how much we roughly make each paycheck. I know that the first paycheck of the month we make a little bit more because Nathaniel makes production that paycheck. I know the second paycheck of the month we make a little bit less, but we also have less bills to pay, so we can use that money differently then. And then I know roughly what to expect with his church paychecks, because they're always about the same. So I know how much we have to spend, so I use that to choose where we're putting our money. Most of our money does go to bills. We have a lot of bills. We have a lot of credit cards to pay off, which I will be sharing how we pay off that debt next week in a video. But most of our money goes to bills, and so I just kind of choose what to do with what's left. And usually that's towards savings or extra towards credit cards, which again I'll explain next week. But usually if we don't make as much as we expected, which can fluctuate because sometimes Nathaniel has better months than others, his route changes every month at work, so the amount he makes sometimes changes as far as like sales money and all that kind of stuff. And then my paycheck can change too, depending on if we have a break. Like we have spring break coming up and I won't be working for a week, and those aren't paid breaks. Sometimes we have like paid Mondays off and stuff like that, like Labor Day, whatever. But when we have a whole week off, we don't get paid because we're not working. So this is the sheet that I use to budget. It's going to be kind of hard to see. I can try to zoom in a little bit. But basically, I need to wait for it to focus. It's kind of hard to show you a paper, but it'd be even harder to show you a computer screen, so sorry. So basically I have 4 sections, the one for the 7th, the 15th, the 21st, and the 30th. I have all of our like credit card bills and other bills. So we have like DirecTV, we have Progressive, which is our insurance, we have PG&E, all that stuff. And other things are Verizon. Nathaniel signed up for Dollar Shave Club. We have the Cinemark Movie Club, all those kinds of things. And then also all our credit cards. So you can see like Capital One, Credit One. We have a ton of credit cards. I'm sharing that video next week, so look forward to that. But I've highlighted in red the ones that do not have auto pay, which is all our credit card bills, just because on our City of Lincoln, our water bill is not auto pay. I don't think I can set that up because it's also, I think it's because we don't own this house. So all of our credit cards are actually, they're not auto pay. It would be way easier, but because I can pay more sometimes, it's just easier to not have to do 2 separate payments, and I'd rather just do one payment and know, like, even if it's an extra $5, it's just easier to do one payment. So I don't have those on auto pay, but then I have all our other bills like Verizon, Hulu, all those kinds of things are on auto pay, and those are highlighted in green if they're auto pay. So I show the amount for each paycheck, how much needs to go into our bill account. Basically, we use Nathaniel's checking for our bill account. We use separate accounts for things. We have a joint account, Nathaniel has a personal account, and I have a personal account. So his personal account is where we move all our bill money so we can keep it separated. My personal account is where we put like rent money and all the things like that, my gas, stuff like that. And then Nathaniel usually takes out cash for stuff he needs. And then our groceries and all that can go on our joint account, so we can both use that. But Nathaniel gets gas money, and then he goes to play D&D with his friend. So he gets some money for that because it costs them $5 when they go. And then I usually get gas money, and then, like I said, the rent money. So we split the rent money on the 7th and the 21st. Those are our bigger paychecks. We split it in half. We pay $1,300 for rent. So we just do $650 each paycheck. I need an oil change on this next month. That's why that's there. I add in things sometimes that we don't do every month. Like I need an oil change. We have to pay a Kaiser bill. So things like that get added in. And it's nice that I use this on Google Drive because it automatically saves. It automatically updates if I put something in. And it's just really easy to keep track that way. And then basically what I do is other stuff. So we have groceries and needs, and I can change that. So if we don't have enough on a paycheck because I had a couple days off or whatever, I usually go to groceries and needs first, figure out a meal plan, figure out how much we actually need to spend, and then I can adjust this amount. It says on the 7th that it's $240, and I can change that. But usually that's when we buy meat, that's when we buy like our bigger groceries, and so that usually costs more. But then this one, the 21st, is only $140 because we're not buying meat, we're not buying stuff like that. And like I said, I can change things. We can have less meat or whatever. So I can change that and adjust it if we don't have enough, because I'd rather take from there than from savings. And then at the end of the month, Nathaniel has poker games, so he has that money. But basically whatever's left after paying all these bills, all this stuff, and then our groceries, whatever's left, we try to put in savings. I want to try to put at least $200 a paycheck. I don't have anything put down here because I had a week off work, and I know we're not going to have extra for savings. Even with adjusting our grocery budget down so low, it's just not going to happen. But basically, this is just what our budgeting sheet looks like. It's pretty easy to keep track of. I keep track of bills, I keep track of other expenses, and like I said, I can adjust it if I want to spend less on groceries, if I want to spend more on groceries because it's a holiday and we need to bring something to a party. It's just an easy way to update, and I like using the Google Sheets because it can automatically sum up. I need to focus. So it takes all this, and I've had it automatically summed up to how much money we need that pay period. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, next week I'll be sharing how we pay off our debt and how we pay all our credit card bills. And if you have any other ideas about what you want to see from me, whether it's about finances, home, whatever, please let me know in the comments below or send me a message on Instagram, anything like that. I'm always looking for new ideas, and I want to know what you want to see. So let me know, and I will see you next time. Bye.